Hi, Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and today I'm going to present you the Sandmarc anamorphic lens for smartphone and iPhone. Let's start. So a few months ago I presented the Sandmarc lenses and filters, and first I did some explain why I decided for Sandmarc and not for Moment. Then I made some unboxing and then a review of the filters and the lenses. I spoke really well about the lenses, but I really criticized the filter system, and I sent my review to Sandmarc and they came up with some solution. So I was, whoa, that's a serious company that actually answered. And then when they issued this anamorphic lens, they sent me a lens for free, so I thank them for that. But there is no contract between them and me, and I can tell anything I want about this lens. They didn't tell me what to say, whatever. They even told me some issues that I should mention, because they want their client to be aware of everything about what could be wrong or good or bad about the lens, but really not. They didn't tell me what I should tell about the good things, but about the bad things. I was surprised. So thank you so much. I'm going to do a review explaining really what I feel about this lens and the result I got. I will show you some example I've made with some short videos, not the greatest videos, but so you have an idea of what you can do with the lens. This lens comes in this box, and in there you have a case for your iPhone. They only make cases for iPhone. But if you want to use your lens in another smartphone, you can actually use a clip. And so this is really good, because there are other companies like Moment that actually makes lenses, and if you don't have the case for your phone, you just cannot use their lens, and this one can use it on any phone. The lens comes in a small pouch like this, if you get it out. So the build is great, as always. I mean, as always, as all the lenses I've tasted, they have metal. You have a front cap. You also have a cap for the back. Okay. And then in the small bag, you get a small microfiber cloth. But the bag itself is also microfiber. So if you want to clean the lens, you can use or the bag or this. Obviously, if you use the bag, make sure there is no sand or dust or this that could scratch the lens. Okay, so make sure about this. You have to tell which case you want, the iPhone you have. If you don't have an iPhone, well, you get any case, but it really doesn't matter. You will use a clip. What I've changed? They've changed the way the case is made. People were complaining that the older one was really soft and didn't really cover the edge, so it was just really a lens holder. It did not really protect your phone. But they've issued a new version, which is like microfiber in there, and then it really covers the edge of the phone. And you have buttons on the side that cover the iPhone buttons, and even you have the small hole here, so you can put the sound or not on your iPhone. So this is really a lot better case. I actually don't like cases that are open. I use a flip cover. So when I finish recording, I actually remove the case. I don't mind if it's a case or another one. I would never use it. I don't trust it, even if I use a security glass on my iPhone. But people who like these open cases, they can perfectly use this one and have always available the screw area, so you can put the lens on it. Okay, but they're really better the case. It's a really good point, because it comes included with your lens. And so I'm going to tell you a bit what is anamorphic. I suppose that you probably know, but I tell for some people who would not know. And I suppose you've been to the cinema and you've seen this look, which is a wide look, but also the typical anamorphic lens gives you some flare, like really special flare, really like bluish, and it gives a strange look, a mystery look, or romantic look, or really special to your film, to the movie, no? So this lens is like this. Get the caps out. As you can see, the shape inside is really different, and there is like you see like some oval. Okay, so what does that do? Capture a lot wider but to keep in your sensor format, it actually squeezes the picture to fit in there. So after, you just unsqueeze and you get a wide aspect, and then you will get your flare aspect, all this. But I mean, the way it works is actually squeezes, so you get a lot more panorama look of your movie. Okay, so it gives this cine look. As you can see, it says here on the box, lens 1.33 times squeeze. It's going to squeeze 33%, and then you unsqueeze it, so you get this wide angle. So you're going to get this cine look for your videos in this 16:9:9 format. The glass is multi-coated, so the lens actually squeezes the video you're making, so you need to unsqueeze it to show it. So there are two ways. Or you can use an app that actually does it, like Filmic Pro actually does it itself, or there are other apps like Movie, or the competition application called By Moment also does it. It means you actually make the take, but then until when it delivers the video, it's unsqueeze it, so it's not all stacked together. And if you forgot to do that, or your app doesn't do it, you can always do it in post-production and squeeze your video so it looks the way it's meant to look. So I'm going to show you how you actually configure Filmic Pro to get the right results. I leave you a small video, and also I show you the Moment app. So when you are in Filmic Pro, it's important that you actually configure properly the app. So you go to there, the small wheel where you have the configuration. But in the format, the ratio takes 16:9, and then the resolution, I'm in Full HD, but you could be in 4K, whatever your telephone lets you have. Okay. And then go to hardware, and then it's important you pick the anamorphic Moondog. I've got it written in Spanish here because I've got the Spanish version. So where you see anamorphic Moondog, Moondog was the first one to make an anamorphic lens for iPhone. And then you also have the option of de-squeeze. If you switch this on, the problem is that it will de-squeeze just as a preview, and you want it de-squeezed for the final version. So don't have this activated. Leave this off. Okay. So if it's de-squeezed, it looks like this, and if you did not activate the option, it looks like this. As you can see, the shape of the car is all squeezed. So it's very important that you have this on. Okay, that's it, and then you can start recording. That's simple. If you want, you can actually use the app By Moment, which is a competition, but they have an app that you can buy as standalone, so you don't need to have a Moment lens. And if you go to the small A letter at the top left, because it was on anamorphic, but there is a lens there. It's you see, if it's tele, then you have a small T. If it's superfish, you have a small S. You must select anamorphic. Okay. And this way it does a de-squeeze, it does everything. So you can actually use the Moment app even if you don't have any anamorphic lens by Moment. That's not a problem. You have to pay for that app, but I think it's a good app, so it could be interesting for you. How do you mount the lens? You put your phone in the case, obviously. Okay. It's important, if you have two cameras on your iPhone, on your phone, use the wide lens. You can actually mount it on the tele-lens if you want, but obviously you will not get the maximum wide. But if you want to do some take with the flare aspect and the flare effect, obviously you can put it on any of the lenses, but the logical way is to use on the wide lens. Then you actually screw your lens on the case like this. Okay. But because of the shape of the lens, you actually need to align. You can see the small white line. You need to get it aligned with the small mark there is in the case, this way here. Okay. And actually, if it's not properly aligned, you will notice it because it will change the shape, and also the flare won't be horizontal. I'll show you a small video so you actually see it. Because if not, if I turn here, as you can see, you see my figure here, I'm turning the lens. And here the other way around. It's important to have it in the right place, otherwise it's there's some kind of deformation. If you don't want to use a case, actually you can use the clip. Okay, so you screw it on the clip, The good thing about this, you can actually use it with any smartphone, so I think this is a great option. If you use the clip, you then put there the clip on your telephone lens. Make sure it's properly aligned, okay? Try to have the clip to rest properly so it doesn't move anymore, and then you still need to align the small line, so you do it guessing, you know, okay? Obviously you can point at the light source and actually see if the flare is horizontal, and you move it until it's perfectly horizontal, so this way you know with the clip it's properly set, okay? So it's very easy, but it's important you mount the lens properly. This flare effect is great for B-roll. I mean, you know that between action part of your film you actually have some B-roll, like landscape or the car coming in, all this. So it's very it looks a lot better, I think, when it's in slow motion. So I recommend you record this spot in slow motion. Obviously you can use a lens for all your movie, but the part when you really want the flare effect to appear, it's great to have it in slow motion. What's very important is that the camera stays horizontal, otherwise the flare will be this way, and it will the shape will change. So I recommend, if it's a fixed take, use a tripod, or if you're walking or moving, use a gimbal, so this way you get really steady horizontal, and it will be a lot nicer. So this is something I recommend. Slow-mo for the part where you really want to play with the romantic or secret or mystery and using the flare, I think is great. And horizontal is very important, or use a tripod to make sure it's horizontal and don't move it. Or if you're walking, use a gimbal. So with that kind of lens, if you have on horizon or horizontal line, it's very important you take it into account when you're going to frame your shot, because if you go like this, you see it curves. If you go like that, it curves the other way. If you want to play with flare, don't forget that try not to abuse, because many people they put so much flare that all the movie or the clip is always with flare. So try not to abuse. But if you want to use it, take into account that you need some direct light. So obviously if you're doing some recording at midday, you won't get the direct light in the lens. So that's if you're going to use a flare of the sunlight, obviously you need to do it in the morning or in the afternoon, but when it's a bit lower on the horizon. If it's nighttime, well, any street light or any car lights or whatever, that will be fine. But think about this, about timing at the time of recording, and think about it that you need to be at the right time, because otherwise you won't get any flare, because obviously there is no direction in your lens. If you use a gimbal, I'm using the DJI Osmo 2, and the problem with super wide lenses, it's not a problem with Sandmarc, it's a problem with any lens. Super wide, sometimes you actually see the motor, so it's important that you tilt the right way your gimbal, so you don't see the motor on the right side. I'm thinking actually to try the movie Firefly movie robot. Because of this, the motors are placed different. I think there is not such a problem, but if you're using a DJI Osmo 2 or similar, make sure you don't see the motor appearing on the side. When I reviewed the lenses and the filters, I really complained about the filter system. Actually, because there was some vignetting, you cannot stack them. So you can still not stack them, but they sent me a new set of filters, and they don't vignette anymore on the wide lens. But then I was really surprised that when they sent me the lens, they also told me there is some vignetting in some situation. And actually they put it on the website, and I said, yeah, but I'm not getting any vignetting. He said, yeah, but in some situation there is, so please tell the clients, because we want our clients to be aware that it may happen. So I checked some other people reviews, and then I found out yes, there is some vignetting in some situation. First of all, it depends on the app you're actually using. With Filmic Pro you do get it sometimes. It seems like with the movie by Firefly you don't get it. So I think it's more a software problem or relation software hardware to have it fixed, but I'm going to show you an example. So I'm here with Filmic Pro, and then I check someone else's review, and if that's right, if I move, as you can see, I move to the right, it appears on the left, I move to the left, it appears on the right, and then yes, there is vignetting. So actually I think it's probably a software problem and not really a physical problem, as with the app that come with the gimbal called Movie by Firefly. There's no vignetting whatsoever, so I think actually the lens is probably capturing a lot more than what actually is displayed by the app, and likely Filmic Pro is not recutting right and Movie is doing it. I'm not sure, I don't know, but yes, there is some vignetting, and I thank you Sandmarc, to be honest, until there may have a vignetting problem. Obviously it's solvable because it's on one side and you can actually recrop when editing. It all depends the way you're actually shooting, because even if you look, if I move really slow, it doesn't appear. It's really if I move fast. The faster I move, the more it appears. So I'm not sure what's wrong with that. I do believe that Sandmarc will come up with some solution, because when you think of it, it seems to be more softer. Maybe I think it's taking more of what you actually see, and this is after the way the app is handling the file. That's probably you see vignetting or you don't see it. I'm not sure about that. Obviously there is, because otherwise the app would never see this filter on the side, no? But I think the way it handles the cropping or whatever probably makes the final result. So I do believe they will come up with some solution or software solution, speaking with Filmic Pro or issuing their own app, or they will come up with a set of filter that will be larger, so you don't actually see anything showing in the video. So what do you think about this product? First, I was really surprised, because the first time I heard about anamorphic for iPhone or for the smartphone, I heard about the moment lens. I thought, well, I don't know, this is a lot of hype. Does that really work, all this? And when I bought the other lens by Sandmarc, I said, will you make an anamorphic? He said, we can't tell you, but we always work on new products. So I was really happy when they issued this anamorphic lens. And the result, I'm really surprised, because I think it works great. The effect it gives is really nice, but even nicer is the price, because when you think of it, the results are really similar to Moondog or to a Moment anamorphic lens, but the price is really good, because the lens cost 159 US dollars, 140 euros, but it comes included a case, and the case itself costs around 35 euros. I think it's around $40 or something like this, and it's included. If you look at the Moment one, you have to buy the lens that costs about the same as as Sandmarc, but the case is not included. This is an extra $35 or $40. So I think you do save a lot of money with this lens for similar result. So I think, yes, I would definitely recommend this lens. So who is this lens for? Well, I think that anyone who wants to record video clip with a cine look, or short movies, or even long movies, but that's another budget, and they cannot really afford these really expensive anamorphic lenses for cine cameras. Or there's also another one the other day for Micro Four Thirds, and it costs about $3,000 the lens. So I think, well, if you're on a budget, or you just as a hobby, or you want to do like a pre-recording to find some sponsor to really pay for the good stuff, I think this is a good way to have a great result for really good price. And what I really appreciate is the attitude of the company. When I criticized the filter system, they thanked me. They passed that over to their engineers, and they sent me some kind of solution. And I see they're still fighting for new things, new product, new ideas, and I value that a lot. They're really dynamic. I don't see a lot of hype. I do see a lot of work, and I think this company is working hard, and I look forward to review more of their products. Even if they don't send it for free, I'm ready to buy more of the products when they issue them, because I think they do great products. So I definitely recommend this lens for anyone who wants to try this cine look for an affordable price. I hope you like this video. I hope it's useful. If you feel it may interest other people, you can share it on social networks. If you have not done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The small button down here, a small bell. If you click on it, you get notified when I upload a new video. my website ericgimbal.com. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below, send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. I also put links of my gear on Amazon below in description, and also links to other parts of my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Bye.